What is going on, everyone? Um, the time has come. And as always, we start out with a word from our sponsors because I would not be able to do this without sponsors and patrons and everything. So thank you for joining. And I'm going to go ahead and start this up. InDigital is on a mission to improve the 911 industry. Our goal is to create something better to go above and beyond the current standards. Our passion for creating the most advanced, well-designed solutions led to our position as an industry leader in next-gen core services. The millions of calls processed over our emergency IP networks, to our Text for 911 solution, Texty, to our disaster recovery and backup solution, Mevo, it's easy to see we love what we do. For more information, check us out at www.indigital.net.
Rapid Deploy believes that every public safety agency, regardless of size, should have access to the data they need when it matters most. That's why since 2016, our mission has been to reduce emergency response times and improve public safety. We are the industry's only integrated emergency response platform. Our web-based cloud platform includes analytics, mapping, dispatch, and mobile apps, purpose-built for 911 in the 21st century. Visit www.rapiddeploy.com to learn how we enable effective, efficient, data-driven emergency response.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Welcome to Within the Trenches, true stories from the 911 dispatchers who live them.
What is going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and this is going to be a special live episode of Within the Trenches. This is episode 334, and oh man, we're about to get started. I have been just all types of nerves, man. Just getting ready, preparing, just a lot of different stuff that's been going on, and it's all going to be revealed here. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy. And let me throw up some branding here. There we go. Right there. Bam. All right. Now we're about to get this started. I see a lot of people joining in here on the comments. Hello. Welcome. A roll call for everybody. You know, where are you watching from? It is just after 3 p.m. Eastern time on July 23rd, 2020, and we are about to get this started. I have been teasing an announcement for some time now, and as you're watching, please make sure to throw in some reactions and share this broadcast. If anyone can share this to LinkedIn, that would be awesome, because there are some people who are not on Facebook and who are on LinkedIn. I was going to try to broadcast on that as well, but they're doing a beta test right now, so I had to apply for it. I thought it was just a one and done thing. So if you get a chance, share this over there as well, please. And I thank you all very much for being here. A big thanks to all the patrons as well. Like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't be able to do all of this if it wasn't for all of you, as well as the sponsors. Now, this is going to be a full episode of Within the Trenches. So please hang in there. I know a lot of you are you want to know what's going on. I've been posting a lot. Of images, hashtags, certain things, and it's all relevant. It is all relevant. So like I said, this is going to be a full-on episode because this has been a journey. Everything that that I've been doing, this didn't happen overnight. This year, I mean, this is 10 years since the original concept for everything that I do now started. And I'm not going to be talking for 10 years, of course, but I'm going to be just going through a little bit of the history as we're going through this, because it's time to say goodbye. So we're going to go through this. I promise you, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Everything will be fine. So in the beginning, as a lot of you know, I was a 911 dispatcher and supervisor for a long time, 13 years. And I see Don here saying, hurry up. I believe Don and a few others have been telling me since I announced that something was coming, hurry up, tell us. Yes, I get it. You want it like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. However, we're gonna take it slow. Wait, what are we talking about? No, sorry. So anyway, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I was, I've been there just like you, taking all of different types of calls and such. And one of the things that, you know, just realized was that people are naturally curious, right? As humans, we're naturally curious. And we want to know about things. And the same thing with our profession as 911 professionals, 911 dispatchers and call takers. People want to know what it is that we do. Looking at the comments, I'm trying not to, because some people are saying, just be gentle. Oh, that is funny. Yep. Yeah. So, you know, in that curiosity, it ended up, you know, taking a chance in sharing with the public, you know, public education. But it was also therapeutic for me to share these stories. And that's how it started out. It was just sharing stories. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. I was one of those dispatchers who held in my calls, and it wasn't good. It was bad. You know, we have to share these stories. And so that's what I started doing. Started sharing, started talking, went back to school, and there was a project that came up. And I'm not going to play the video here. You can look for it. I've put it out there. But I do want to give a big shout out to the two people who helped me with this, because it's where it all started. A college project 10 years ago, where I'd been playing around with the idea of sharing dispatch stories. It was during my bachelor's program for graphic design, and they wanted us to tell a story. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to share these stories because they're important. They're the ones that need to be shared. They need to be out there. And they're ones that people don't know about. They don't know about this side. So I wanted to share those stories. So I asked my two coworkers, Alexis and Trista, if they would help me out. And they did. And here they are, the both of them, Alexis and Trista. They helped me out with this. And I put it out there, and I ended up getting an A, which was awesome. But I also blew away the instructor and my classmates because they had no idea. And Alexis and Trista, I will be forever grateful to the both of you for helping me with this, because this is where it all started. This is going to be a hard one. So it started there. It started with them sharing their stories. What I wanted them to do was I wanted them to share why they got into it, dispatching, why they get into public safety to begin with, their worst call and their best call, and why they do what they do. And I've been sharing that video. Every time I go to conferences, every time I share these stories and everything, I share that because that is where it started 10 years ago. Like I said, this didn't happen overnight. It was a long time of sharing stories and trying to get this off the ground. Now, there's a video here that I want to share with you. It is it's about 3 minutes long, and I'm going to apologize right now because when I did this video, it was while I was working. There wasn't anything going on. But I it was about 3 or 3:30 in the morning, okay? And I recorded this just on a whim, and I had in my head what I wanted to say, and I had practiced it a couple times, and then I just went for it. So it it's me it's me talking, but this is where it went, because after the blog, after the project, the college project rather, there was a blog, okay? And it's where I started sharing stories again, continuing, because once I put that video out there, I thought, you know what? I think I got something. I think I have something here. More people want to know about what 911 dispatchers do, what it's like to take a phone call, that if they're getting put on hold when they're calling 911, that there's a reason, that their emergency isn't the only emergency, that there are other things going on, and that when they're taking phone calls, they're not just taking a phone call. As empaths, we put ourselves in the caller's shoes. And although we are calm, cool, and collected in the back of our head, we're freaking out with the caller as well. So people were learning. And I ended up doing some blogging. And I thought, at one point, it was a chaotic night in dispatch. And I remember taking a split second to look up and look around the room. And I thought, man, I feel like I'm like within the trenches of some like chaotic war right now. Like, this is crazy stuff that's going on. It's so chaotic here in dispatch. How are we going to get through it? And we pushed it and we kicked ass. We took names, but that stuck inside my head. And I thought, within the trenches of 911, within the trenches. And that's how it came about. So then when I started blogging, that's where it was, within the trenches. It was going to be a written segment. I was going to share my stories, and maybe others would share theirs as well. And then during my master's program for new media journalism, they introduced us to podcasting, and I fell in love with that form of storytelling, that power of storytelling. And I wanted to do something. I wanted to go to Kickstarter, a crowdfunding site, to raise the money to be able to turn this into a podcast, because I thought if it's therapeutic for me, it's going to be therapeutic for those who are listening. And if I can get dispatchers to come on as well and share their stories, it might be therapeutic for them as well. So why not? Why not try it? Why not go for it and share stories? And let's see where it goes. So this video that I'm about to show you right now, this is the intro that I had put out there. This is something that I gave to Kickstarter. They look at the video and the project, and if they give it the green light, then you are good to go, and they give you the space. And I did get the space, which I'm so surprised, because watching it now, I think, holy hell, why did anyone even go for this? Because you can't tell, but I'm like half awake. And I'm trying to do this in the middle of the night. So let me play this for you. Again, it's like 3 minutes long. Hang in there. Hang in there. And we'll get to this. Once we get to when I get to the actual announcement part, you'll realize why I've gone through this. So let me share this here so that you can see it. It's kind of funny and cringy. Well, here we go. Hi, my name is Ricardo Martinez. I'm a 911 supervisor, and this is my Kickstarter project video.
Now, what this video is going to have within it is just a quick intro, overview, really, of what this project is about. Now, the project is called the JCast, featuring Within the Trenches. And what the JCast is it's the name of the podcast that goes along with my blog, which is Jabberlog. Within the Trenches is actually a segment that I started on this blog that it covers my experience as a 911 operator. Within that segment, it has stories that are, from calls that I've taken, happy, sad, scary, and funny. And I want to continue this project and go further with it. Now, up until now, I have been doing different stories. It's text, audio, and video, and they've all come out really well. But I want to do more with it. And that's what this project is about. Now, Within the Trenches will be a weekly podcast, and it will be myself and 3 other dispatchers. And for an hour or so, we're going to talk about our experience working in 911. We're going to tell our stories, the way we felt during different calls, and just things that we've gone through while being in this profession. And but to make this, to bring this to life, I need you. I need you to help me out with this project to make it a reality. And what I'm trying to raise is $1,500. Now, what that amount will go to is the equipment needed to make this show come to life. It will pay for the microphones, the headsets, the mixer, everything that will be involved with this. And it also will pay for a Ustream producer license so that we can do this show live. And while we do this, people can interact with us going into the chat session and ask us questions during that time as well to make it more interactive, and so we can be able to engage with everybody. But with all the money that I'm trying to raise, there's also rewards. And there's rewards that are small for smaller pledges all the way up into bigger ones. And they range from stickers and thank yous on sponsor pages to graphic design services and shirts and mugs and ad space on Jabberlog, the site that will be holding this entire show. Also banner ads, mentions within episodes, and much more. So what I need is your help. Thank you for the consideration, and I am hoping that we are able to make this a reality and make this a show that everyone will be into. Thank you.
Whoa. That was the video. That was my intro video for what I wanted to do with this entire project. That is what I submitted to Kickstarter. I ended up getting the space for it, and I was up and running. Right off the bat, I had, I think, like $606, man, and it was awesome. And then it just kind of plateaued there. And there was about 36 hours left, and I thought, man, it's not going to happen. And I ended up reaching out to Gary Allen, who was the editor-in-chief of Dispatch Magazine Online, and I told him about it. And I said I wasn't looking for any money. I just wanted to see if he would share it, and he loved the idea. And he did. He shared it. And overnight, I ended up hitting that goal. I surpassed that goal, actually. And the funding period was actually December 13th, 2012 through January 12th, 2013. And I remember when I hit the goal, my coworker Trista sent me a text message, and she goes, "I just put you over." And it was an awesome moment to think that there were all of these people who believed in what I was trying to do by sharing these stories. And towards the end there in the video, you hear me talking about rewards and everything. Well, on Kickstarter, you can offer rewards for those who are helping you. So there was t-shirts. I had web development and graphic design experience, so I was offering that as well. And the biggest reward, I think it was like $700 or $800, is if somebody went for that, I was going to give them this website, and someone went for it, and I thought, holy hell, I don't know who went for it, but that is amazing. I'm so stoked that happened, and so it continued to roll on. I got the money. I had already had episode 1 out there with my first guest was Whitney. I was her supervisor in dispatch there in Allegan. She's actually now the deputy director there. Shout out to you, Whit. And she was also the first co-host that I had. Episode 5, I ended up bringing her on as the co-host, and they a local ABC affiliate, WZZM, came out and did a story on what I was doing with Within the Trenches, and things just kept picking up and going through. And my first national conference ended up being a NINA conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got a chance to go over there. It was the first time they were going to have the podcast zone. My good friend Mark Fletcher, was there doing his podcast as well. And this was something new. They hadn't done this at all. And he and I were there first doing this. And so much happened there because my now boss, the president of InDigital, showed up there. That big reward for that website, InDigital was the one who did that. They've been with me since that time. What I didn't know until years later was that Gary Allen and the president of the company, Mark, were buddies. And he actually reached out to him and said, you need to check out what this guy's doing. He's sharing these stories. It's a good idea. He's putting this podcast together. He's a 911 dispatcher and supervisor, but he also has a technical background. Well, I didn't know about this, though, until Gary passed away a few years ago. Mark told me that. Like, he ended up saying, I don't know if you know this or not, but he was the one who reached out. And I thought, geez, full circle there. Wow. So that connection and everything, life is made up of moments, connections, all of it makes the world seem so small. But everything seemed to be happening there. I was offered a job to go work for InDigital, and it took me a little while to finally decide to leave dispatch, because it's a profession that I love so much. But I knew that I would still be able to help those that I wanted to help the most. And that's the thin gold line. The 911 dispatchers of the world, man. I wanted to share those stories. And InDigital has always been very supportive of that. So yesterday was the 7-year anniversary of my last day in dispatch. And today is actually the 7-year anniversary with InDigital. And it's been an experience. All of it from the beginning. And then working with InDigital. We've been working together and stuff. And I started out as their dispatch trainer and designer, and then moved up to a market manager. And then I became their director of communications. And all that time, they've been supporting the podcast as well. They've allowed me to go, places and do these presentations and everything, but also do the podcast because they believe in it. They believe in the job that all of you do, and the stories that have come out of it. And then, we go from there, and it's just working as an industry partner, doing presentations, doing all types of things, and doing the podcast all at the same time. And I remember the day after, 7 years ago today, I woke up in the morning after about 3 hours, I think, that I had. And I called Eric, who's the VP of the company, and I said, "So it's my first day today. What do I do?" And he goes, "I just want you to go ahead and enjoy your family for a couple of weeks, and then don't worry about it. You're still employed. You're still going to get a check and everything. I just want you to take some time because you've been working in dispatch for so long, and we know you haven't always had a lot of time with your family. So take this couple weeks because once we get started, there's no stopping." And I remember chuckling and saying, and yeah, okay, it can't be that bad, right? Well, no. I mean, it's 7 years later. Today, 7 years later, and it's been balls to the wall busy. It has been crazy. But I will always appreciate the fact that they let me do that because I needed it. And I also got to thank my family as well for sticking through all of this and everyone who has supported what I've done, because I've been doing both. I've been doing the podcast halfway, and everything else 100% as much as possible. And then the I Am 911 movement hits, start that 2016. And that blows up, turns into, starts out as a way to raise awareness for the reclassification issue, but then quickly turns into peer support. And it has continued with Imagine Listening, Open Mic Live, now the Dispatchers Roundtable, all of this building and building, Dare to Be Great conference. But there's been a lot of struggle there as well. There has been a lot of stress trying to do all of these jobs. Don't get me wrong. I've loved it. I've loved all of it. It has been amazing. And what you've been waiting for to hear now, here we are. I wanted to take you through this journey. But believe me, there's way more to it. And I'm hoping soon I'll be able to put it all down in a book for you to read, because there's so much more that I could go on with. But I want to get to this part now where we're talking about the struggle, the stress, and my hashtags of it's time to leave, that it's coming to an end. It's like I said, the past month has been very stressful. You would never see it because I don't ever really show it. There's a lot of opportunities that have been presented to me, a lot of them, and it just didn't seem like the right fit. But then one came up, and it was right. Almost immediately, it was right. I felt it, and I knew it was the right thing to do. Plus, there was, in some of the conversations I was having, it was like, no, you just need to do this. So I'm announcing my departure from InDigital. Seven years ago today was my first day. And now, July 24th, 2020, this is basically my last day. July 23rd. I said 24th. But I say 24th because tomorrow, really on paper, is the last day, but we're doing like a luncheon, Today was the last actual shift. And so I started on the 23rd, and I'm ending on the 23rd. A lot of people have been wondering where I'm going. What am I going to do next? Some people have thought that I'm going to a different company. And I am. I'm going to a different company. But what company, right? What company is it? You know, a lot of people have been trying to guess that as well. You know, some people saying, guessing the company that I'm going to go to, maybe because of affiliations, friends, anything like that. The company that I'm going to is my own. My own. That's right. I've been dropping hints for the last month. And I even did an episode with Joe Serio where my microphone was blocking part of my shirt that said the media company that I'm doing. I even showed this. I will now be running Within the Trenches Media. I'm going on my own. Oh, it's weird to throw that out there now. Finally, about a month of teasing this and holding it in. You have to know, I'm like a kid on Christmas, man. I'm the one who's like shaking the boxes. This was some hard shit to keep in, to not say. There are a few people that knew a little bit of it, but they don't know all of it. So that's what's going on. Tomorrow is my last day with the InDigital crew. I'm going off on my own and doing the podcast full time Within the Trenches Media. It feels so good to say. It's been a lot of work. Again, like I said, it's been it's been 10 years doing all of this. And I thank all of you for the support throughout all of these years and for your continued support. But I've been dropping hints like crazy. and some of those hints were out there just to throw people off, because people were thinking I was leaving for different companies and such. And I thought, that's not it, but I can play off that. But that's not all. So there's more to it. There's a little more to it. And I want to show you something here. And this is really cool. I want to show you this. Here we go. So here's a picture. This is a picture here with the vice president and president of InDigital. It's Eric and Mark. And they're the ones who I've been talking to since the very beginning back in 2013. And we took this picture a couple days ago. The reason for this picture, if you look, they're both wearing Within the Trenches podcast shirts. And I'm wearing my Within the Trenches media shirt. So although I'm making the announcement of my departure from InDigital, I'm also making the announcement of the first major network sponsor of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and that's InDigital. It just felt right. There it is. InDigital is going to be the first major network sponsor of what it is that I do. That was another hint there. I've always mentioned them as a supporter. And just a couple of weeks ago, I started adding them as sponsors. Because this is what we're doing now. And this is awesome. And I'm so excited to do this and to have the continued support from them. This was a mutual thing that ended up coming up, and we are excited like you wouldn't believe to be able to do this. On top of that, Dare to Be Great 2 is coming out. And InDigital is also going to be, they're the first diamond sponsor for Dare to Be Great 2. That's going to be happening in October. There are 4 diamond sponsors. I have 3 already of the 4. For the major network sponsors, I have InDigital. I have 1 more, and that's 2 of the 4 that I'm looking for. The second one, I will be announcing the first part of August. So there's so much more to come. There are more announcements, especially regarding Dare to Be Great 2. But with those major network sponsors, as I said, I've got 2 of 4. And I'm looking for those individual disciplines that deal with public safety. For example, call handling equipment, wireless, dispatch furniture, recorders, something like that. But I'm looking for 2 more. And it has been exciting. The other thing I need to say is the fact that the Within the Trenches continuing education scholarship that I give out, it's now funded for a while. All of this happening basically all at once. That scholarship is something I've been doing since 2016. I've always wanted to give back somehow. And that scholarship is now funded. August 24th, 2020 is I Am 911 Day, the anniversary of the birth of the I Am 911 movement. And this year, with everything that I've been doing, on that day, I'm going to do an Imagine Listening session. And if you were part of that Imagine Listening session and you're jumping on the screen, if you jump on the screen with me to share a story, you will earn one of these coins. There are no conferences that are going on right now in person. This is where I usually do an Imagine Listening session, where those who share an I Am 911 story can earn a coin. And this is how we're going to do it. So I cannot wait for August 24th, 2020, I Am 911 Day, so that we can do this. It's going to be amazing. I am excited beyond belief. And thank you all so much for hanging in there with me for this that we're doing right now, for this live episode. That's why I said in the beginning, please be patient. Hang in there with me, because this is a full-on episode that we're doing. This is live right now on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But this is also going to go on the podcast that will go out throughout the world, literally the world. I've now surpassed 1.31 million downloads. That is crazy to say as well, but I owe all of you for that. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the job that you do, and for having the courage to share your stories, to come on the podcast and share those stories. You're all amazing. I can't thank you enough. Make sure also tonight to join me for Open Mic Live. It's Thursday. Just because we're doing this right now, it doesn't take away from regularly scheduled programming. Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we will be doing Open Mic Live. And of course, I'll be talking about what I talked about here a little bit as well. But have your funny-ass stories ready. Let's have a good time. But also your saves. Let's do them both. Let's do them all. It's going to be awesome. And again, I am excited beyond belief to go on my own and to do this. This is a birth of Within the Trenches Media, and there is so much more to come. There are other announcements that I can't even talk about yet, but they're coming, and I am excited. Very excited. So thank you all again very much for joining me during this time for this announcement, for this full-on episode Within the Trenches, episode 334. This live broadcast has been sponsored by In Digital, as well as Rapid Deploy. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that is going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. And you can like us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches podcast. This episode, this broadcast, really, the show will always be free. But if you're looking for extra episodes, behind the scenes series, discounts to the store, all types of stuff, go to patreon.com/WTT podcast. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now if it wasn't for the sponsors and the patrons and all of you for your support. So thank you so much. And along with that, going on my own now, where I was doing everything halfway, I'm now going to be able to do this at 110%. And it's going to make it just that much better. This episode can be seen on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And audio-wise, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. This is our time. This is the era of the headset. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. This is amazing. Thank you all so much for all of this, and I appreciate everything. I will see you tonight on Open Mic Live, and this is the new norm. Here we go. Have a good one, everybody.